What good is a helmet gonna do clipped on the back? Why didn't she put it on top of her head? The other problem is they also have an excess passenger, a small baby between them. Obviously no crash helmet.
Alam mo yun? Yung Child on Motorcycle City Act. So ano alam niyo yung provision nun?
Eh, hindi kasi dyan lang
Hindi boss, ang tinatanong ko kung alam mo. Hindi ano? Kasi kung alam mo, palagay ko hindi mo aanin eh. Sasakay yung anak mo ba?
Apo ko lang sir eh.
Apo. Oo. Yung ano, dapat yung bata, abot niya yung peg. Unang-una, overloaded kayo. Dalawa lang dapat. Diba?
Wala kasing mag-ili sa bahay sir, kaya pinasama ng...
Kaya nga eh.
Umikot lang kami kasi sir dahil bumili kami ng...
Kaya nga po eh. Sana siguro kung may mapag-iwanan kayo ng bata, ganoon na lang.
Wala naman po sir.
Kaya, o di wag na lang, isa na lang siguro mamalengke muna. Maiwan yung isa.
Kasi...
Di ba? So, wag nating ipilit. Ang sa akin lang, kaligtasan ng apo nyo ang inaalala ko. Kaya si ate may helmet sa likod, hindi naman sinusuot.
Hindi naman kasi dyan lang kami sir eh. Kasi...
Boss, sabihin ko sa'yo, halos karamihan ng aksidente na nangyayari sa motor, short errand. Yung dyan lang ako sa Talipapa, dyan lang ako sa drugstore, dyan lang ako sa eskwelahan, dyan lang ako. Yung puro dyan na yan, dyan nangyayari ang aksidente.
Bumili lang kami sir ng pagkain.
Yan nga sinasabi, ilang beses ko pa uulitin. Karamihan ng aksidente nangyayari sa short errand.
Yeah.
Naka-chinelas, naka-shorts, di ba? Dyan lang ako eh. Biglang ikaw, magaling kang rider, pero may isang driver na lasing, nadali ka, yung dyan mo, eh, hindi natin siya napunta, di ba? Yun po ang lagi nating isipin. Ang kalsada, hindi lang kayo ang gumagamit.
Sa susunod po sir, alam ko na po.
Yeah. Ilan taon na kayo, Tay?
50 po.
50. Mas bata ka pa sa akin. Oh,
Sana
pero
po,
ang inaano ko,
mapagbigyan niyo po ako sir kasi hindi ko naman po alam ang
hindi ka namin pwedeng pagbigyan eh. Nandiyan na ba yung lisensya niya? Sige.
Good morning everyone, MMDA back on the road right now. They're in front of a Riot Market and actually you see a tow truck coming in now to pick up this vehicle. There's no driver and same thing over here, the tow truck coming in to pick up this one. This might be the driver now, but unfortunately the tow bar is already connected. I heard some people saying kawawa for the driver, kawawa for everyone stuck in traffic every single day because of illegally parked vehicles. And you'll see there's already some tricycles loaded on the back of the tow truck for illegal parking. And over here they flagged down this rider for the unauthorized helmet and the slippers. And the unattended van is also about to be pulled up onto the flatbed tow truck. And look at this ice. Yummy. And you'll see the local police are also here just to monitor and assist if needed. It's always useful. MMDA, PMP, they work together. Of course they can get more done. And you'll see there's actually a lot of vehicles parked here. Actually, one of them just drove away, the white one in the background. It looks like the driver of the armored truck is cooperating, just handed over his license. Some armored truck companies do not cooperate with enforcers. And some civilians or some regular people think the armored trucks are exempt from the traffic laws. They are not. This little van here has a really cool license plate, but unfortunately I have to blur it. The driver for the SUV also came out, so they're asking him for his license, otherwise it has to be towed away. And the ticketing and towing continues. You see this one's being issued a ticket now for parking on the sidewalk, but there's actually a lot of vehicles in the road, and actually there's a lot more vehicles over here. I can remember the last time the MMD were here and it was the same thing actually. I'm sure you're going to ask, is there signages? Yes, no parking, both sides. And actually you'll see the street is kind of congested because there are vehicles parked on both sides. So there's just a narrow space in the middle. And I would say that these sidewalks definitely need some treatment because all of them are mossy and slippery. Very difficult and dangerous to walk on. Again, you'll see a lot more vehicles parked here with the big sign that says no parking both sides. Sometimes people say make the sign bigger, smaller, higher, lower. I think it's really impossible. I think it's really, really impossible that people don't see these signs. Really no regard for the little girl. Not even a crash helmet. No helmet, no shoes. The child sitting on the front. And over here you'll see the tow truck coming in for this vehicle. No drivers come out to take a ticket and move it. So it goes on the back of the tow truck. Again, there's a big sign, no parking, both sides. And if we go back a little bit further, again you see the signs, no parking, and the tow trucks are starting to pick up these vehicles also. The MMDA are now speaking with some staff from LTO. They showed a letter from the barangay, and it's kind of unusual. The barangay in the letter say they're temporarily allowing one-side parking, but then they also say they cannot issue a resolution because it's a mabuhay lane and that's not allowed. So it's kind of conflicting, and there's no letter from the city, but I would assume if there's no barangay resolution, there will also be no city resolution, because as it says in their letter, it's a mabuhay lane. And this is still something that confuses me. All the cyclists that ride with the helmet on their handlebar, just like the motorcyclists that ride with it on their elbow. This rider was flagged down now. Unfortunately, unauthorized helmet, that's 3,000 pesos. Slippers, that's 500. Total of 3,500 if they put both violations on the ticket. And that's really weird. Now the lady is wearing the substandard helmet, and the motorcycle rider is going to wear the full size or full face helmet. I really don't understand why the driver and passenger changed helmets. All they've done is exchange the risk. Before the lady was well protected, now she's less protected. So I'm not really sure of the logic behind that, but for some reason they've swapped helmets and they're signing the ticket now. There's another vehicle being towed here, and I just noticed behind there's a motorcycle and the back ride doesn't have a helmet. And they are issuing a ticket now for the back ride, no crash helmet. The idea is that he will find alternative transport, or he'll find a helmet. They shouldn't ride away with the same passenger riding without helmet. And that's why the passenger is now on foot. You'll see this street has a nice wide sidewalk until you get this far, and then suddenly it's converted into a parking space. So they're writing out the ticket now for obstructing the sidewalk. If no driver comes out, it could get towed away. And same thing over here, ticket being issued and a tow truck connecting for the vehicle obstructing the sidewalk. I really wonder how signs get damaged like this. Is it really an accident? Did someone hit this, or is it just people messing around with them? And it seems like there's really no driver for this SUV, so they're going to throw it on the flatbed, obviously as quickly as possible, because there are people trying to pass through this area. And here on Banawe, you'll see people walking in the road. Why? The sidewalk has been consumed by parked cars. Ticket's already been issued, and it looks like the driver's coming out now. So if she can show a license, it's only a ticket instead of being towed away. So I think Paul's asking her now for the license. He's already put the plate number on the ticket. You see all of these people walking in the road. And then you also have situations like this, where the sidewalk is converted to a ramp. Same thing over here, people walking in the road because the sidewalk got converted into parking. And actually it's not just one car, it's two cars. So both of them are being ticketed, and I haven't seen any drivers yet, so they might really get towed away. Same thing over here, the sidewalk got converted to parking. A driver did come out, but he didn't have his license, so hopefully he'll get back quick enough so he won't get towed away. And that's the other reality of people obstructing sidewalks. Even people in wheelchairs end up in the road. That's meant to be a PWD ramp, but how can the PWD use the sidewalk if it's converted to a steep ramp? And actually this is really weird. Someone just came out now to claim responsibility for this vehicle now that it's being put on the tow truck. I saw one of his guys wearing the same uniform standing there smoking, watching the enforcers. He never said anything. He didn't say like, hey, that's our car. He just stood there watching, and then when he went on the tow truck, suddenly everybody came running out. This vehicle was also ticketed for illegal parking and it might end up being towed away. There were actually 4 cars parked here, but the other ones had drivers inside, so they left already. This one, there's no driver. And this vehicle parked on the corner of Maria Clara beside the hospital. It's also being issued a ticket for illegal parking. You'll see 2 vehicles parked on the sidewalk here. There's a sign that says no loading, unloading anytime, and in the background a sign that says no parking. Either way, it's a sidewalk, so every driver should know you can't park here. The driver of the pickup just handed over their license, so they'll issue a ticket and then let them drive away. And so far, no drivers actually come out for this one, so the tow truck is already hooking up at the back, and they're going to take this off the sidewalk. It wouldn't surprise me if this is the time that the driver appears. Often that's how it goes. Once they start towing, the driver will say, "Hey, I'm here." But so far, no driver. It would really suck if you parked your car, came out, and then found out that it's missing. But then who parks on the sidewalk? Especially, well, I don't know anymore. And look at this, someone has installed posts on the sidewalk and then a rope, basically leaving just a tiny little sliver for pedestrians. And what you'll notice around these areas is these yellow lines. Now, allegedly, these yellow lines were painted by the barangay in most areas, where they basically said, hey, we're going to extend your private property and we're going to reduce the width of the sidewalk. I don't have any way to prove it, it's just what people have been telling me. Whenever they're apprehended for parking, they say, hey, the barangay painted that line there and said we're allowed to consume part of the sidewalk. And that's pretty much how it happens. Over the years, you lose more and more sidewalk until there is no more sidewalk. Most of the motorcycles and cars are parked without obstructing the sidewalk, but you can see that pickup truck completely obstructing the sidewalk. This rider was flagged down for driving in slippers. I'm not sure if he has his license with him. They've been standing here for a while, so I'm guessing he doesn't have his license. At first the driver said he doesn't have a license. I don't know if he means with him or just doesn't have a license at all. And honestly, I think maybe he has one, he just doesn't want to show it. He might just be hoping the enforcers will let him go. But they've told him that they're going to impound the bike if he doesn't show a license. And there you go, that's the license. So he did have a license all along, just didn't want to show it.